Are we filming? Yes, we are. So let's have a look at what we're testing today. We're going to use this, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a Majohn Wang Kai pen, this one, with a Moonman nib, a fine nib. It's marked Moonman. Now, I don't know anything about these Chinese companies, but the rumour is that these Moonman nibs are slightly better than the average Chinese pen, so I'm all for that. Interesting design. It's almost like a lipstick. Let me zoom in and show you. It's almost like a lipstick, isn't it? How does that compare with? Let's see what I've got. So let's compare it with a typical Kaweco Sport. This is a pencil, but you get the idea. Very, very small. But I've got some ink in here. Today I'm going to be using Diamine Teal. I have used this before, and I really, really like it. But today we're going to go for this sketchbook made by Royal Talens. Let's put this away. And it's a Dutch company that's been going since 1899 apparently. And this company, it still exists in where is it? Apeldoorn in the Netherlands, and they've got a head office in Apeldoorn. This book is made in China. I don't know about the pastels and the inks that they make and the paints, which tends to be their main thing, but they do make these books as well, and paper and stretched canvases, that sort of thing. So maybe this is a bit of a sideline for them, but what caught my eye was this 140 GSM. Now, I paid a few days ago, I paid £8.39 for this. Let's zoom out again. It's very, very similar to the moleskin size. So here's a moleskin. Let me just do it at an angle, that's better. So it's very, very similar size. In fact, you know that the moleskin is narrower from here to here than many of these books, but this seems to be almost identical. There's 80 sheets in here, and there's 120 sheets in this moleskin, so you can tell the extra thickness of the page. But in this format, they feel similar in weight. But let's have a look and see how this paper performs. I mean, it's really, really thick. It feels, and it's a sketchbook. So what is the appeal to me of sketchbooks? There we go. I've got to make my own crease. I hate this at the beginning of each book, but it's the same as virtually every book, isn't it? There's this difficult thing right at the beginning, which inevitably means that one tends to start here, and we're going to start here. We need a paintbrush, and we need some teal, which I should have got all ready, but here we go. I'll take a risk here. No, it's okay. I think we need to get a bit of we need a bit of toweling here. So let's sort yourself out, Neil. But I have high hopes for this as a notebook, effectively. Would I use one of these for a journal, maybe, who knows. But let's start with seeing what the ink looks like. Okay. I don't know whether I'm a fan of teal, but it's an interesting ink, one of many I have. I think that looks pretty good. Let me put that away and carefully put that paintbrush somewhere safe. Right, so this is the Majohn Wang Kai, got to be careful what I say there, fountain pen with a fine Moonman nib. So first of all, art creation, Talens art creation, and this is a fine nib. Pretty smooth. Let's call it a sketchbook. And it's A5 and it's 80 sheets, so 120 pages. And it is 140, isn't it? 140 GSM. Nice. And the pen I'm using, well, let's talk about the ink. So this is Diamine Teal, made in England since the mid-19th century. And the pen is I hope I'm getting this right. And it's with a Moonman fine nib. Okay, what do I think of that? Well, let's let it dry for a few seconds. Cap this pen. Do you know, I really like this. I really like this. It appeals to the EDC in me, really. And this is a dropper pen. Let me just show you this, if I can avoid having a spillage here of ink. Let's zoom out. So it actually is supplied with an eyedropper and a cartridge and a pack of cartridges, but you can take your choice. It's a very tight thread with some silicone grease, but if I take this out, okay, so you can see that you can easily use this as a dropper pen. And the amount of ink that it can hold is enormous. I mean, you could go, well, all week with this, potentially. Huge amount of ink, and you can completely fill it. So that's not always the case with, well, it's never the case with a cartridge converter, is it? Or any piston fountain pen. So a lot of ink in a very small space. And I like the way it posts, so threaded like that. And it's well, let's just have a look and see. Okay, so it is just over. It's 12.1 centimeters. So it's good enough. It's good enough for me, and I've got big hands, so. When it's capped, it is 12.1 centimeters. So it's good enough. It's good enough for me, and I've got big hands, so when it's capped, it is 12.1 centimeters. 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 So when it's capped, it is 8.5 centimeters. So it's the smallest pen I have. I like it. So the big reveal is, what is this like on the reverse side? Let's make sure we've got just one page, and we have. Okay, let's take a closer look at this. Right, so you can see a tiny bit of shadow where I've got the ink, the paintbrushed ink onto the page, and you can see a little bit of shadowing there, but you'd have to look very, very hard. I would say that's almost impossible to see if you have already written on this side. So nice, very, very nice, and it has that sort of it has it has the feel of quality paper. It's tricky. Let me just compare these, because this is an interesting thing. So we have this sketchbook, which has this really, really nice paper as a sketchbook. That's fine. It feels super, super high quality. But then we got the origami here, which I have tested a few days ago. This is 150, so even thicker paper. But the difference is, and this isn't a criticism, it's just an observation, but if you look at, or if you were here and you could feel this paper, you would feel that this is super smooth, and this has a certain, it's different. It's different. It has more bite, perhaps. This isn't as smooth as vellum paper in a Rhodia, in a Clairefontaine / Rhodia book. But this is smooth. This is less smooth than that, but it's smooth, and this is rougher. But they both write very, very well. If I was choosing one as a journal, I would go for this. That's my verdict. I would use this as a workbook, a good quality workbook, but a workbook nevertheless. But I would use this as a journal. It says it is acid free. I mean, I'm tempted to use this other than just for testing. And if you're interested, excuse me, I'm just going to blow my nose. I have these 80 pages here, 80 sheets. Does that mean I'm going to use this to test 80 inks, 80 pens, or whatever, or various combinations? Who knows? But what I'm probably going to do with these, and let me just zoom out again. I'm going to probably use these as working tools, but with a bit of testing at the beginning or the back, or whatever. So there'll be a mixture, perhaps. I haven't decided yet, but I'll tell you what. This is my verdict. This is my verdict. It's fantastic. That is my verdict. I love it. I love it. I love the fact that this paper basically gives you virtually no shadow at all, and certainly no bleed through. Like it. I really, really like it. I like that colour as well, actually. Nice. Very, very nice. Diamine Teal. Yeah, I like this pen too. So I would say I'm very, very pleased with this combination. Thank you very much for watching. Until my next video, goodbye.